new items, new features, and a whole lot to love. Here are the biggest changes in Palworld's new update and how they affect the game overall. Palworld's April update, version 0.2.0.6, has a healthy amount of new items, and a handful of them are locked behind the purple ancient technology column of the tech menu. Because of this, I feel it's only right to start this chat with the new ancient technical manuals, because when used, they give you an ancient tech point. Previously, the only way to get these types of points were to defeat alpha pals, the dungeon/cave bosses, and the syndicate tower bosses. Now you can do all of those and then gain an extra point each time you find a manual inside of a dungeon chest. Just keep in mind that getting awarded one is random. Out of 4 recent dungeon visits, I only managed to obtain 1 ancient tech manual. Now let's go over what you can spend those ancient points on. First up, at level 19 on the tech menu, is the Ring of Mercy. This new accessory will cost you 2 ancient tech points, and when worn, you will not be able to reduce the enemy's HP below 1. In other words, no more accidentally murdering a pal that you're trying to catch. How awesome is that? But if you have a bunch of gold burning a hole in your pockets and you'd rather save those 2 ancient points, the Ring of Mercy can be purchased for 30,000 gold at one of the merchants. The PAL version of this item is called Mercy Hit, and it won't cost you any ancient tech points, but we'll talk all about that in the PAL section of the video. Next up, at level 24, is a way to finally change how your PAL tamer looks. This new piece of furniture is called the Antique Dresser, and it will cost you just 1 ancient tech point. And this isn't just a minor change, it's the full character creator from the start of the game. Unfortunately though, it doesn't come with the option to change your name. So like me, you may have a gruff old man named Amelia. Further down the list, at level 30, is a new way to fast travel called Homeward Thundercloud. This item costs 2 ancient points and instantly teleports you to your nearest base no matter where you are. Previously, your only option would be to find one of those glowy eagle towers, pick your base on the map, confirm, and go from there. This new way saves a bunch of time and makes getting back to repairing, restocking, and resting so much easier. Unfortunately, it's a consumable, and its required materials aren't the easiest to just find around everywhere. So use them wisely unless you're willing to grind the materials to make a bunch of them, aka butcher this pal just to get clouds. A little further down from that is the ability glasses at level 34. This edition will cost you 4 ancient tech points, and when worn, you can see PAL stats as you roam the map. Outside of the technology menu are recovery meds. This consumable and the low quality version can be crafted at the medicine workbench and slowly recovers your HP over time. 3 HP per second for the low quality and 5 HP per second for the normal version. This is cool, but its addition begs the question, why is there still no potions for PAL health? Somewhat similar to the new manual for acquiring ancient tech points, there are training manuals hidden in dungeon chests as well. These manuals can be used on a PAL to give them a handful of experience depending on what size the manual is. So far, I found a medium and a large, so there must be a small one out there too, right? Another way to make your PAL stronger is to use the new stat boosting items such as the Power Fruit, Life Fruit, and the Stout Fruit. The only new move is a passive one that is the one I mentioned earlier called Mercy Hit. Similar to the Ring of Mercy, this move makes it so that the PAL that learned it cannot reduce an enemy HP to below 1. Some other cool additions take place at the ranch, where 2 resources that were previously annoying to obtain can now be farmed with ease. Kelpsy will now drop PAL fluids while grazing, and Demud will drop high quality PAL oil. Now all you have to do is have a PAL poop out ancient civilization parts and we're all set. Oh yeah, and there's also a new PAL, Bella Noir, who is the star of the game's first raid. Bella can be summoned via the new summoning altar that can be unlocked at level 33 for 3 ancient tech points. In order to make it work, you'll need to collect slab fragments to combine into a full Bella Noir slab. Now this next part is super important. Do not place the summoning altar at your main base. This raid is intense and can destroy everything you've built, so make sure you're taking on Bella in a location with just a PAL box or a secondary base that you haven't put much work into. Unfortunately, you can't catch raid bosses, but they do drop PAL eggs upon defeat, and those eggs have a chance to hatch a boss. Now that you've saved your base from destruction, let's talk about some of my favorite additions to them in this update. First up, the ore mining site. Gone are the days of being advised to set up your base near a large deposit of ore, because the ore will always be wherever you decide to set up shop. Stage 1 of this new site can be unlocked at level 15 for 2 ancient points, while stage 2 is available at level 31 for 3 points. These next two are all about storage. Chests now have filters that can be used to allow or disallow different item types for being put inside. Previously, pals would just bring whatever they picked up to the nearest chest if it had space. But now you can make a chest for weapons and ammo only, or an entire chest of just rocks. Can you feel the organization? Alongside that, crafted items can now be automatically transported to storage once they're done being crafted. So now, aside from manually picking the recipe and starting the crafting process, bases can feel even more automated than before. And speaking of crafting things, assigning pals to work a certain station has been fixed. Throwing them at a workbench, field, generator, etc. is more clear than ever, and when you make the assignment, that pal stays there. Thank God. No more of them randomly walking away to do nothing just because they don't like the area you told them to work in for some odd reason. It's also harder for pals to get distracted because, get this, the monitoring stand can be used to dictate what roles a pal can and can't do. Thank you, devs. Thank you. So they may have like 4 talents, but you can cross out 3 of them and only make that pal focus on one thing. Game changing. Some other fun additions include a new sleeping emote, the ability to hide the tutorial quest log from the corner of the HUD, partner skill cooldowns showing even when you don't have that pal out, and seeing how many of a pal you've already captured as you aim a sphere at them. And there are plenty of other additions, tweaks, and bug fixes that I didn't even go over in this video. So make sure you read the full list over at gamespot.com. I'll link it in the description. Let me know your favorite part of this update in the comments and what you're hoping gets added in a future update. Thanks for watching.